What's
Hey.
up? Working on the head movement.
I know.
Coming in. Yeah. I was kind of thinking like if you had a jab or the nunchucks at me.
Nice.
We should practice that defense,
On camera for the pod.
I mean, just in general, if you can dodge nunchucks.
Yeah.
Head movement's pretty good.
Yeah, I need to work on that because I have no idea how to defend myself against nunchucks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want you what do you do?
I don't know.
Try to grab it?
Yeah, John Wick might know.
Dang, that's a good point.
Yeah, we might just need to watch some of his movies and find out.
I need to watch them. It's on the list. John Wick. It's on the list. Just haven't gotten there yet. But what's up, chokes and consciousness, enlightened ones? Hello.
Howdy. We're back.
We're back again, not coming at you hot like we did last week. We were feeling aggro last week.
Yeah. I'm feeling pretty chill this week.
This week? Yeah. You said you've been vibing today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just relaxing, just having a recovery day, just stretching, doing a little bit of exercising, but yeah, vibing.
Hell yeah. And for those of you, who are watching on YouTube, thanks and subscribe, enlightened ones, and those of you who are listening to us right now. So those who are listening, I just got to say, Michaela's got this bomb-ass art piece behind her. And that's just what she be doing out here in these streets. That's light work.
Thanks, Deja.
Yeah, exactly. So hit your girl up if you need something.
Yeah, it might take a while, but
it don't matter. But look at the perfection. For those of you looking right now, it's this, and those listening, well, how would you describe that? How would you describe this picture? Like there's sunflowers, there's all kinds of flowers.
Yeah, I'm still working on it.
But yeah, it's like you got a nice big ass tree in the background. You got a pond. You got the nice sky, and it's oil paint, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it's like you can touch it.
Yeah, it is really textured, and that's what I like about it. That's why it's taken me 5 to 6 years to finish it because the oil paint's thick. So probably a half-inch thick.
Yeah, nice. I mean, I remember when I was out here just slathering on oil. Shit took a couple days to dry.
Yeah, no, that was funny. You like painting thick with oil paint too. But your texture was nice. Yours was all smooth. Yeah, we should do that again.
Yeah, do that again. Yeah, but just had to give a shout out. Michaela's out here.
Appreciate it.
In her art. Mm-hmm. Lit. So, you been vibing? Did you get a workout in today? Or
a little bit. Yeah, just at home. I didn't want to go to the gym because yesterday was so crowded.
Really?
Yeah.
What time did you go?
I think right after jiu-jitsu, so maybe 11:30.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess lunchtime. Yeah. But that still seems kind of odd.
Yeah, there's a bunch of younger dudes, a bunch of college-age dudes that were just hovering around stuff.
Always. They be the bros.
Yeah, the bros. The odd bros, too. Just standing in random spots.
Just in the way.
Just in
not
the way.
Doing nothing.
And two dudes just stood by my rack and just stood there using the little thing that you can lift the bar up.
Oh, yeah.
But they just were so close, and I like my space.
Same. Right? Because it's I can feel your aura in mine, and it's uninvited.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need to be touching auras right now. Mm-hmm. There's enough space for you to have your own bubble of aura.
Yeah, and 3 racks were empty. Why'd you have to come stand right next to mine? Yeah, that was annoying. So I just stayed home today. I've just been lifting at home.
That's fair. Yeah, that probably would have pissed me off too. You messed up my whole gym vibe. And it's the music can't even take you out of it.
Yeah, that's how it was. And then last week I went to the gym and my headphones were dead, so I had to lift.
Oh.
Yeah, I lifted anyway with no music, but I paid attention to everyone there. I could not get in the zone, but the same dudes were there yesterday, just in the way, so I was annoyed.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Oh man, yeah. If I forgot my headphones or something, I'm like, oh, gotta go back. Mm-hmm. No, because I tried it a couple times listening to their stuff and then just like listening to everybody else. And it's like I'm already an ENFJ, people, heavy on the judgment. Okay. And so it's just just amplified when I'm having to just be in their aura all of it.
Yeah, I just want to be in my own aura.
Exactly. And you see, if like me, I would just like, I would get to a point where I would get so annoyed where I would probably just like stare.
Yeah,
until you like
too.
Like,
you know. Yeah, like, what are you gonna do? You gonna fight me? You gonna talk to me? Because probably not.
Not at all. Like, something I can tell by looking at you that you're not the type that wants to smoke. Honestly, it is what it is. Like, whether that's verbal, you know, whether you want to throw some hands, not my preference. But you're not gonna throw hands at me. I'm not gonna throw back. That's my ideology. Even if I feel like you might get the best of me, I'm gonna get something. I'm gonna get mine. I'm gonna get something.
Yeah.
You're not gonna go unscathed, basically.
Yeah, I'm always ready. You know,
I stay ready.
Like Sam the other day telling us how some like homeless dude was yelling at him.
I know.
That's scary though.
Same.
Like sometimes that can be scary. Yeah.
Because you just don't know.
He might shank you.
Exactly. No, I feel you. Sometimes I'm just like, I want somebody to say something to me. Because I was like, I want to go in, but I can't go unprovoked because that's just reckless. Yeah. You know, what kind of human are you? However, if I'm in that energy, I'm like, yeah, say something. Just look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah, I was feeling that yesterday. Yeah, I went to the store afterwards too, and just everybody was in the way. I almost ran into some middle schoolers.
This week. Oh, no. That demographic, like we said, scares me. But that's what it's been this week. I think you're onto something. It's just been, I get annoyed with people in my space anyway, but it seems like this particular week, there's been more people, like, just in general, in the way, in context. Right at the store. Like, why do you have your cart in the middle of the aisle? Yeah. Why are you standing right in the middle of the aisle while you're looking to the right of you? I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Or like, why are you just going to walk in the middle of the aisle and walk slowly in the middle of the aisle?
Thank you. Like, nobody else has nothing else to do. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, it's been wild. I was having a time driving today. I mean, Lawrence, y'all are already questionable when it comes to finding a blinker, let alone, I guess, maybe even understanding that blinkers exist. But oh my Lord. We can't find a blinker today. We can't find a blinker. We're just not even looking. We're just going to turn right into the next thing. And then you're going to get in front of me and not even go the speed limit. That's my gripe. If I'm not even going the speed limit and then I pass you, I can somehow start to pass you and I see you and I get it. You know, I don't advertise, but we be on our phones. Like, it is what it is. But if I could see your phone literally in your face, like, how you're not even trying to pay attention or even fake it. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate the people that do that and then you drive around them and they speed up. That's what gets me going, like, all right.
Right? Like, okay, like we didn't need to do this, but you escalated. You know what I mean? Like, you escalated the situation. That's how I feel. Yeah, or people even walking. Like, I was walking downtown yesterday to go get me some late lunch. And mind you, there was a lot of people out. And still, there's a lot of people out and you still had space to kind of move around. It was just kind of like people don't recognize, aware, don't care that you don't need to walk right next to me. Even when you pass or we're standing here at this light together, you don't need to be right behind me. You know?
Yeah.
If I move to the side, you don't need to move with me.
Was somebody following you?
They weren't following. No, this is random people.
Yeah.
Right? They just stand too close or they pass they're like passing you, but it's like you don't have to pass like all the way, like make it ridiculous kind of pass me. But if we're like almost touching shoulders and like nobody else is on the other side, I'm not understanding why you needed to pass me that closely.
Yeah, I don't move anymore. Like if I stay on my own ground, because it's annoying. And like if you pay attention, it's like a certain type of people that won't move or get out of the way for you. Like it's not a mutual thing. They'll just walk their path and expect you to move. So now I'll bump into you. Like I don't care.
I'm a shoulder check you.
I've done that before.
Yeah, I mean, pay attention. You know, it's selfish, people. When you're not paying attention. You know what else drives me up the wall? When people want to stand in entries and exits.
Yeah, that too.
Do you not think that people are trying to enter or exit where you are standing right now, or decided to slow down and check something? Like, yo, what are you doing? Because now I'm gonna look ridiculous if I say something to you. He was like, oh, it's not that big. It's not a big deal. But the fact that I even felt a little annoyed because I couldn't get it. What if I needed to run? That's the thing. What if scenario? What if there was a lion or something somewhere and I needed to get out and you were just right there? We're both going to get eaten instead of just you. Okay? Because you held me up. You slowed me down.
A lion.
Yeah, lion, you never know. Maybe a loose chimp. Exactly. You never know. We've heard of these stories where there's been random animals let out into the neighborhoods. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Y'all laugh until it happens. And you'd be like, dang, Deja said that like a year ago.
Yeah, if there's a lion loose in Lawrence, that's going to be crazy.
Hey, somebody had a pet tiger in a New York apartment. It can happen.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, you're right. People are wild.
You never know. So, yeah, sorry, y'all. We just had to get that out the chamber.
Just a little aggro today.
Not so much. I think this is within reason. I think it's in reason. Got our fiend hits going on.
Yeah. Yeah,
midday fiend hits I love midday fiend hits.
Yeah, me too. Usually get going and then I go into jiu-jitsu just feeling awesome.
Heck yeah. Ready to get it? Oh yeah. So here we are. Have you been a little less like hot this week, even though it's still been like temperature wise?
Yeah, no, I feel way better this week.
We finally have acclimated.
Yeah, I don't know if that was just from training a lot, but I was just hot for like days. My whole body was so hot, but now I feel pretty good.
That's good. Now we're in it. But it has been a little bit cooler. But yesterday, it was like it started off like it was going to be decent, and then midday, it was like, did Hades just all of a sudden come up? Like, what are we doing? Just an oven.
Yeah, it's been windy too.
Yeah, that's true. Whip. Speaking of windy, good luck this weekend. Happy 4th, Independence Day. Luckily, we have had some rain, so it's not going to be bone dry, but you're going to be hearing sirens. There's always something.
Yeah, I just read about a fire. Can't remember where it was, but something blew up from fireworks.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the 4th now, now that I'm an adult.
Yeah, same. My opinions have changed.
Yeah, I used to love it when I was a kid, just because it was just something to do. Light stuff off. And I remember my grandma always used to be like, she'd get us fireworks and stuff, but she'd just be like, I don't even understand, because it's just watching your money blow up in smoke. And I'm like, Grandma, it's fun. And again, like, we did our thing. And I think personally, outside of the fireworks, the funnest part, we grilled. I loved when there's like an excuse to like barbecue and grill. So I was always looking forward to the ribs.
Yeah. Yeah, the food's nice. Yeah, I always liked it as a kid too. It was fun just getting together with family and just hanging out and blowing stuff up. But now I see it as a waste of money.
Yeah. Well, not only a waste of money, And I don't know why I didn't think about this as a kid, but we really like our family dog, like Ginger, she was pretty chill with fireworks she just found her spot, and Zoe wasn't so great, or she hasn't been so great the last few years. I don't know why, but she used to be okay, like they were tolerable, but not necessarily so much now. But yeah, it just bothers me now as an adult because I like think about the Zoes, I think about all the little animals, and like they don't know what's going on. People just they don't even. It'd be one thing if people just stuck to the fourth, but people are just blowing shit up at random times, and then it's like a week before, a month later, midnight. You know, like you're a dick. I just want to go ahead and put that on record. If you're that type of person, that's my opinion of you.
Yeah. Yeah, my dog's scared of fireworks too, and it sucks. Like the following weeks because we'll just be walking during the daytime and something will blow up. Like something huge will blow up. So then she gets scared and runs home.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Back home.
You can't talk to them and let them know what's going on. They don't know where it's coming, when it's coming.
Yeah.
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 I know. I got Zoe hitting her with some trazodone this year. Popping pills, baby.
Dang. What will that do? Will that make her sleepy?
Just gotta take a little bit of the edge off.
All right.
Like today, gotta give a shout out to my honey biscuits, my honey bun, my main ride or die, Miss Zoe Jackson, my fur baby. Because she got poked today, had to get some blood drawn. She had her little bravery on. She did great. So I, had Dan had to work, so he gave her a couple pills. Because you got to give them to her a couple hours before. So it was just like she was her. She had her wits. We're just like basically it was an ice cream shake, but no whipped cream. I just took the whipped cream off.
Did she have the shake or the whipped cream?
She had the shake.
Oh, nice.
But it took the whipped cream off.
Yeah.
Right. So we were like, so she was still with it. She still knew where she was, got her treats, but we weren't like as shaky, but we still were just like, what are we doing? But like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's good. I gave Roxy some pills a few years ago before taking her to the vet, and she was not having it. She was drowsy and she was scared, so it just made it worse.
Oh no.
I felt bad.
Doped up and didn't know where she was. And you can't talk. Just imagine you being all doped up. Can't talk. Nobody can tell you what's going on. You don't even know what you took.
Yeah.
That's a bad scenario. Maybe that's what she has PTSD on the vet.
Probably. Yeah, she's so bad. And she's 120 pounds, so it's hard to.
It's a lot to work with.
It's hard. Like she'll just like plant her feet and like sit as close to the ground as she can and hunker down. Yeah, it's almost impossible to get her through the door.
Dang, we going though. Yeah, like let's go. Yeah. So we're gonna be popping pills this weekend again to
dog pills
to help with these little booms going on. Yeah, but she did great.
Nice.
Gave her a little numbing stuff so she couldn't feel the needle.
That's good.
Yeah. I had to get her a little pup cup afterwards.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good tradition to do. Like, I don't do that with my dog, poor Roxy. Just to the vet and straight home.
That's it. Well, today, usually, we do. So it wasn't, necessarily a ritual, but, today, I was like, that was kind of a lot. So, let's go do that.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. But, yeah, we out here, 4th of July. Yeah, as adults, I think we can both say it's not it for us. I still enjoy grilling. I still enjoy getting together with family and all of that. But yeah, the fireworks, that's the thing. I even enjoy watching the fireworks in one time, the city display, and then I'm good.
Yeah, I like that too.
They don't need to go off all day, every day.
Yeah, I do like sparklers. I like doing that.
Those are lit.
I like the little dynamite sticks. I like throwing those in water.
in the water. Again, look, those aren't causing these huge booms. I feel like the animals are okay, right, with those.
Yeah, you're right. Sparklers don't hurt anyone.
At all. I like those giant sparklers.
Yeah, those are pretty sweet.
Yeah, those are lit.
Have you ever blown or like kind of blown up your fingers a little bit as a kid lighting fireworks?
That was never a situation I found myself in.
Nice. That's good.
Luckily. Yeah, I mean, I burned myself quite a few times, but I think that's, that's pretty common. But like I've never had a situation where it was questionable and something like blew up in my hand or like it almost did. It may have been like it was like those water fireworks, right? Or like the black cats. Like I'll light them and throw them. But if like, let's say the wick, like all of a sudden like it just blew real quick. I mean, those are like, that's like the closest I've gotten.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I've had some close calls when I was a kid. I was fine, but just like if I held on just a little bit longer, it would have got me.
Yeah. Hey, my vet said, he was like, hey, you got 10 fingers a day. Make sure you got them on Monday. I was like, dang, you right. Because some people are not going to be coming with the same quantity of fingers.
That's the crazy thing I think about 4th of July as just being America. Like we celebrate by blowing stuff up, and it sends so many people to the hospital, and we start so many fires because of this. But we just keep doing it.
I know. Like I thought about that today. I was like, what is like that's such an American thing. We're so aggro here. We are so aggressive. Like, okay, our Independence Day. Okay, for not everyone, but okay, the United States, cool. But why do we need to celebrate with fireworks? Like we can't do like I don't know, a food parade. Like celebrate with love and connection. I don't know. It's just like, let's blow it all up.
Yeah, let's eat hot dogs and
eat processed meat. I mean, I'm gonna eat it.
Same.
Beef, all beef though.
Do you not do hot dogs?
No, I do hot dogs, but my preference is if I'm gonna do hot dogs because they're already questionable, I'd much rather do 100% beef.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel that. I prefer a burger over hot dog, but I'll still eat a hot dog.
That part. If it's grilled, if it's burnt up, crispy, give it to me. Yeah. But like we talked about yesterday, who was I talking? I was talking to Nick the other day. We were talking about because we came out and Sonic was smelling good. And I was like, it's a damn shame. It's right here and it's smelling this good. I was like, now I'll make some questions. I don't even remember last time I had Sonic, but I'll make some questionable calls for a coney and some tots.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah. I know, right? And a corn dog. And it's like, I know they don't have, I don't think it's all beef hot dogs there, right? But I'll mess up some coney dogs and a corn dog at Sonic.
Yeah, aren't they like 50% off for the 4th?
Dang, don't tell me that.
Or maybe,
don't tell me the deal.
It might be Halloween. I can't remember.
Halloween? Why would it be 50% off for Halloween?
I don't know.
The 4th made a lot of sense.
Are
you just trying to deviate?
No, it's been a while since I've been too. I don't remember.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I don't remember the last time. Well, no, I don't even remember the last time I had like a happy hour drink. I messed up a strawberry limeade, minus them crushing up the strawberries and then me sucking up a strawberry. Ruined my entire drink.
I love the strawberry chunks.
So nasty.
And real strawberry.
I don't want to be chewing. I don't want to chew if I'm drinking something.
You just drink it. You just acknowledge it and you swallow it.
Nope. That's a hard no. Yeah. Anywho, yeah, I'm here. Actually, my main thing, ribs for the 4th.
Yeah.
Do love me some BBQ. Wow.
Yeah, you said you're grilling this year, right?
I am. And I was like, depending on, oh no, I'm gonna talk to my grandma, see what she's thinking about, what she wants on the menu. Maybe, probably not, because that'd be like an all day thing. I don't want to try it for the first one. Like maybe I want to smoke a brisket.
Yeah.
But that's like all day. I've done a little one before, but I would need to do like a bigger one, and I'd want to make it better.
I mean, go for it.
And I don't have a smoker. I mean, right. But I don't have a smoker. You sort of have to make the grill the smoker. And it'd just be, I'd have to be, like I said, I have to be there all day.
Yeah, maybe not this time, but you should do that some other time.
You're right. I can grill some ribs. I'm out there on the ribs, though. Yeah. Got to season them up.
Yeah.
That morning or the night before. Put them in a bag. We'll marinate. Throw some mustard on it. Lock that seasoning in. You grill? What y'all doing on the 4th? Nah.
Nothing. I gotta work Saturday, so I don't think.
Lame.
Yeah.
Well, it's the 4th's on Friday technically.
Yeah.
But you gotta get up in the morning. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually we go see our families in Kingman. We'll chill by their pond and hang out with family and watch fireworks and sit by the fire and stuff. But I gotta work Saturday, so it's not worth going back this week.
Yeah. I mean, well, here in Lawrence, right? They're like, which I just found out recently that they're doing they're doing 4th of July Thursday, tomorrow.
And they're doing a drone show, right?
I guess so. They said they were doing a drone show last year and
it didn't work.
It didn't work. It was not, I was there last year, I think. Yeah. I was just like, where's the drone? Like, what?
Well, that's disappointing. Just sitting out there waiting and no drones show up.
So maybe they got their act together this year, but it is kind of confusing because I'm like, I would get if the 4th of July fell like on a Monday. So you're like, okay, we're going to do this on the 3rd on Sunday or the 2nd even on a Saturday. The 4th is on a Friday. So why are you still going to do celebrations on a Thursday?
Yeah, I don't get that either. But it's fine with me. I'll be there.
Well, yeah, check it out. Whatever. And it'll be at least like a decent, like I said, the weather's not crazy hot. It's hot this week, but it's not like crazy hot. So at least it'll be decent outside.
Yeah. Isn't it supposed to rain Saturday? Like maybe they're saving the drones from the rain. But I don't know.
They already had this planned out. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Nope. I don't really want to switch to drones either. Like instead of blowing stuff up, we're just going to watch drones fly around.
I mean, come on. Like we're really going to feel like we're in the Matrix 3 for real. Yeah. Machines just entertaining us doing stuff.
Yeah. I wonder how cool they're going to be. You know?
They better be lit. That's all I'm saying. I want it should be like so cool to the point where I question whether I want to go back to seeing stuff blown up. You need to make me question what I already like.
We'll find out. We'll keep everyone updated.
Yeah, we will. So Enlightened Ones, that's right. You're going to be listening and be like, dang, this is today because you're going to get this tomorrow because we're recording on a Wednesday. And yeah, go check it out. Enlightened Ones, those who are Lawrence folks, happy 4th and all that to everybody else out there. Okay, question.
Yeah.
If you were a firecracker or firework, which one do you think you would be?
I think I'd probably be one of those little dynamite sticks, but I would like to be a sparkler because those are pretty. And those are fun.
You think you'd be dynamite?
Probably. But those are the only ones I like, though.
Like an M80? No, okay. Think like what you encapsulate. I'm thinking for myself, I feel like I'm one of those I feel like I'm an artillery shell.
All right. Yeah.
You know, like those that go up, they blow up and it's like a nice orb. I think you got maybe one of the same, right? You're still blowing up, but then it's like ring, like, right? Like those, like they look like balls coming at you. You're like, oh, how close is it gonna get? But it's not there.
Is there a reason why you feel like you're one of those?
My spirit.
I got you. All right.
Yeah.
Do you got a specific color? Are you like the ones that twinkle?
That's a good
Are you the like?
Ooh, I am though. I'm glad you went specific. I think I am.
Nice.
I feel like I got a gold sparkle, like, you know, you hear the
yeah,
right?
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I don't know what color I'd be. Definitely gold in there. Maybe some royale blue.
All right.
Yeah, maybe a little green. Throw some green up in there.
Nice. Yeah, I really don't know. I haven't thought too deep about this.
Ooh, I got you. You're one of those like heavy duty Roman candles. Like the kind, right? Yeah, they don't just like they don't just throw the fireball, but they throw the fireball and then they explode. Mm-hmm. Boom, I got you.
All right.
Yeah. Ooh, that, or okay, if you're not feeling that one, okay, I got another spirit. You know those really big, like they're like 100,000 tiny little firecrackers.
Yeah.
That you have to like roll out 3 feet. Mm-hmm. And then once it gets to the middle, it like sounds like a roar.
Yeah.
Because of so many firecrackers going up. That, I think that could be you too.
That's a lot of energy.
And then it's done. Easy cleanup, right? You just had to get it out, let it explode, and then it's done.
All right. Yeah, I like that one better than a Roman candle.
All right, bet. Yeah, I think that's very accurate. So, enlightened ones, what firecracker would you be and why? Think about that today. Ask your family, ask your peeps who you're with while you're vibing, because we know you got us on listening to us. Yeah, that's right. You better. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's the worst firecracker you could be? Like a smoke bomb?
A snake.
A snake.
Yeah, like you leave, like you're not even entertaining, you don't do much, and you leave a stain.
I used to like snakes. I still, they are kind of cool, but yeah, they're kind of lame.
Yeah. Yeah, I was even gonna say like no, because those are at least somewhat fun. The party favorite, or the ones that like the corkscrew ones, like those are cool. A good smoke bomb, I'm here for.
Yeah, but you know those like the tiny little ones that last
for
like
lame
10 seconds.
Right. It's like weak. Mm-hmm. That's why you gotta light like 3 of them at the same time.
Or mix the colors together.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna get hurt by a smoke bomb at least. What else would be pretty lame? Oh no. Because everything else is just kind of like standard, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you like parachutes? Running after them?
They're okay. Honestly, I'm like, you're just polluting, because then what if you lose it?
I mean,
because it's like most of the time.
That's everything, though. We're polluting no matter what we like.
You're right. The smoke up in the air, like, you're right. We're already in the hole. We might as well just keep going.
That's the fame of America.
Might as well keep digging in. Yeah. That's crazy.
Happy 4th.
We have no chill.
Yeah.
Yep, happy 4th. Oh, America. All right. Well, let's get into it. UFC BJJ finale, because last time we spoke, it was the finale day. Did you get a chance to catch up on the finale?
Yeah, I watched all the episodes and then I saw the finale.
All right, so finale wise, main event, Mikey wins. Andrew Tackett won his division, and then who were the other one? Let me see.
I can't remember.
Henrique. Yeah, and Henrique also won. So yeah, Carlos Henrique beat Danilo Maria. So those were like the ones from the show. And then there were additional matches that happened that we had talked about that said they were going to be on there that weren't a part of the show, but they brought them on. So I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know, what were your thoughts about the whole
thing?
I
liked it. Yeah, I liked the series. I thought that was fun watching all the episodes, and then the finale was good. It was a good card.
Yeah. You could tell they're like diving their toe in it. Like, I know we've talked about it before. I love the concept, and Dana White did straight up snatch this from Craig, monopolize once again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was entertained.
Yeah, same.
Multiple things to be true, So yeah, I really like the layout. It would have been nice had it been maybe a little more spread out. Like I said, I think they filmed it in a day or 2 days, and so they were just pumping out episodes like 2-3 a week, and then you had your finale within 2 or 3 weeks of the show premiering.
Yeah, I feel like it was only out for maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
they went through it pretty quick.
Yeah, so yeah, like I said, I really like the whole layout. I really like the entire concept, even though it's like, yeah, it's like the Ultimate Fighter kind of recycled, but you really need that. As I said, I really don't think this is a great direction, more so for the athletes to get paid, right? More, and more so for like those who, like us, who are practitioners and we really enjoy watching, and also maybe even bringing in casuals who maybe they don't do jiu-jitsu, but they still like to watch and stuff. I just don't think it's not going to be one of those that translates to a casual and spectator sport necessarily like other sports. It's it's just there's not that, it's not necessarily that kind of draw, but it's just it's even for us, and we know what's going on, we're not always entertained.
Yeah, you're right. Do you think if he did bring in like Mark Zuckerberg that it would be more entertaining for other people?
Entertainment value, yes. Like I said, I think the show is entertaining. I think definitely Mark Zuckerberg, because it's just him. Like Zuckerberg, he'll bring in the eyes, so people would want to see him and stuff. As far as though it transitioning to like I said, a spectator sport, I just don't see. Yeah, I just don't see that translating. But like I said, that doesn't mean me saying the athletes don't need to level. They shouldn't. They are deserving of a level up in pay because they are pro athletes, right? But like the entertainment spectator, I don't think it's going to merge in that way. But I like the format. If the fighters are still going to be able, the grapplers still going to be able to showcase their skills, train again, compete against the best, and also be able to make a livable wage doing it.
Yeah, no, that's the awesome part about it. Like just giving people that chance, like, hey, you don't have to work a second job or whatever. You can just focus all your time on training.
Exactly.
That's the life.
Yes, it is. And I think as mad as they want to be for Dana White copying, and he did do that, this isn't a negative thing right now. Well, there are negative aspects. Let me be very clear about that, because with the monopolizing of it, obviously Mikey and like Fionn, they can't compete in other events, jiu-jitsu events like the CGI or CJI outside of the UFC BJJ. So I don't like that at all. I do like the level of exposure. I liked the whole layout of the show, and it's like trying to get maybe a little of the backstory of some of the grapplers. Like I said, you got to build a narrative around people too.
Yeah, no, I like that part about it too.
And when you have those kind of shows, and you're able to do stuff like that, even if people aren't necessarily, even if maybe they still wouldn't train jiu-jitsu, it still might bring in a casual because they like the narrative, they like the story, they still might follow the sport. And just by the exposure of that, maybe they get their kids in it. Maybe they tell a friend about it or something. So it can only be positive for the exposure of the sport just in general.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then like that competing against CJI and then that competing with Flow, like I think that's bringing more attention to it in general, just because everybody's trying to level up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do think that the next, if they decide, which I don't see why they wouldn't, they do another show, another season. I do think there's going to be women now then added. You need to go ahead and get yourself lined up.
Yeah,
because it's happening. Yeah. No, I'm serious.
Yeah, I wonder how you sign up for something.
That's going to be when they do it, right? And then again, like maybe it started off on YouTube this first season, so then maybe they get like an actual TV deal or something the second season, and like it just continues to grow. Why not throw yourself in the hat if you can?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
I need to look into that.
Yeah,
I was hoping you would sign up last minute to the Queen of the Mats Sunday.
No, we had to. Yep, I went ahead and went to Black Brunch. I need to go there. I know. I saw the posting and I was like, I could have hopped in there.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it was a person. The person that she from Julian's gym.
I think so.
Out at 10th Planet. I don't follow her. I don't have her name, so I'm not.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know what rank she was or anything.
Yeah. Next time though, we should jump in there.
Yep. Yeah, I'll get some more notice, and it's like, all right, let me plan accordingly next time.
Yeah. Are you doing Chewy?
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah, that's the sign up ends today.
I think it was yesterday.
The early sign up. Was it? Damn it. Always missing stuff. What did it go up to?
I'm not sure. I think it's maybe $20 more than what it was yesterday. Yeah. Whatever. It's a lot cheaper.
Did you sign up?
Yeah, I signed up yesterday. Yeah, I signed up for gi and then no gi.
Okay.
And then the absolute division, if you win, you can win $350. So I might do a ton of matches at that tournament.
I mean, why not? Yeah, I'll sign up. Well, since I'm past the late fee anyway, I'll get myself signed up probably this weekend. Yeah, we'll see. I hope there's some Masters people there.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Said, I'm not competing against you. I'm not competing against any teammate.
Yeah, I don't want to compete against you either.
Again, I wouldn't do that again. It's just not fun. There's no benefit to that.
Yeah, and it'd be weird. Like, I don't, like, do you go hard? No, like, I don't.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, don't need to do that at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to put that on you, and I don't want that from you either.
I was like, right? We just don't need to do that.
We're just on the mats, like.
Can you just call it? Just
rock paper scissors.
Right. Shoot.
Sure. Oh, you did.
I went round one before it came. Rematch. Okay. All right. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
What do you got?
We're on shoot. I got paper. Dang, you got me. All right, that's all right. I'll get my rock, paper, scissors game up.
Yeah. If we are in the same bracket and just say we're going for the first place match, we should just do a bunch of goofy shit.
Yo, I'm breakdancing on you.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to breakdance on you.
Oh, that would suck. Get me in Mount Versailles control and then just do a windmill on top of
it. Yeah. I mean, that'd be fun.
Yeah, just make it ridiculous.
Why not? Might as well, because at that point it would be. At that point it would be. So yeah, folks, sign up for Chewy if you haven't already. Get yourself signed up. IBJJF stuff coming up. I also need to get myself signed up for Vegas.
Same.
I mean, they which was ridiculous. Their early registration or regular registration ended literally like mid-June.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was just like, okay, money grab, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not signed up.
No. I know. All this money being torn out. Man, need to get a side hustle. Anywho, UFC still. All right. UFC 317. Did you catch any of it?
Yeah, I did. I fell asleep, I think, on the third to the last match. So I missed the main and then the co-main.
Dang. Yeah. the only two I was looking for. But you actually, I mean, arguably, I would say you saw the best, probably fight of the year, but fight of that card for sure. The Brandon Royval and Joshua Van.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was a great fight. And I can't decide if it was a great fight, yes. And I also can't decide if it was also great because Brandon Royval was like also not necessarily fighting a smart fight. I felt like he was just like not necessarily like willingly getting hit. And I also think that he wasn't being as tactical as he could. And he was just kind of going like, I want to get my lick back every time I got hit. Entertaining for us. He lost. I'm like, I don't know if that was the best strategy for you.
Probably not, but oh well.
Yeah, whatevs.
Yeah, that was a good one. I watched Tracy Cortez.
Yeah, what happened in that? Because I was only able to watch some of the main cards. So what happened in that one?
She won by decision, and it was just kind of back and forth the whole fight. It wasn't anything crazy. I don't think she really did anything to stand out.
Nothing?
No.
Was it like predominantly like stand-up, grappling?
I can't remember. I think it was a mix of both. Like they were on the ground quite a bit, but they weren't really doing much to each other. I thought it was funny though. She kept both eyelashes this time. She's still
hey, that's good for her.
Still wearing the fake eyelashes is crazy to me.
She's like, that might just be her thing. Try to get her followers.
Yeah, but
I'm like, that's not
until that gets punched back into your eyeball.
You right. You would have thought that the eyelash getting punched off would have been a deterrent from her doing it again, but it was not.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But those are the only two I really remember.
Okay. I did see, like a highlight, because I also, I didn't get a chance, but that main, like the last fight of the prelims, the Jack Hermanson and Gregory Rodriguez RoboCop, that was a murder, and people are blaming Herb Dean, and I get it. He's definitely, I'm like, if I see Herb Dean officiating, I'm like, somebody is definitely going to get hit more times than necessary. They're not going to take if there's a right amount of damage, it's going to be excessive because it's but he's also one of the best in the game. So it's kind of wild to also think that this time, I don't think that was on Herb Dean, y'all. What else was he going to do?
Yeah. He grabbed his hips. He was pulling them back by the hips.
He was literally running. He was literally running towards them as soon as dude hit. Right, he laid back and hit the mat. I blame that 100% on RoboCop, and they all well, you don't stop until the ref stop. At some point in time, you can have some self-restraint. You're literally looking at the person and can tell they're out.
Yeah, he could have just waited 1 second longer.
He didn't have to do that. He did not have to do that.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
Yeah, because it was head hit the back of the thing again.
Yeah, just Bounce back twice.
Doink. He ended up being, I was like, and this is how bad I knew it was, because they never do this. Because like I said, I wasn't watching it live, but when I got to watch the card live, when I was on the main card, they made an announcement during the fight and was like, Jack Hermanson, he's fine. He's been checked out. And I'm like, oh, it must have been really bad for y'all to 3-4 fights afterwards be like, let us give y'all an update on this man's health.
Yeah, he was just laying there for a long time, just out.
Yeah, I was like, dang, I hope you feel bad, RoboCop, because that, again, completely unnecessary.
I don't know if he's a robot. If he's claiming to be a robot, makes sense. No feelings.
I guess that was terrible. Yeah, and then the main card was let's see, I did catch some of the, yeah, I did. By the time I put it on, I caught live the Benil and Moicano fight. Moicano really frustrated me. So I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, he just couldn't seem to like pull the trigger, was hesitant. I don't know. I'm a hater on Benny. I just can't stand Benny. Dude gets on my nerves. I'm like, I just want to see him get knocked out every time he steps in there. And then, like we said, yeah, the Brandon Royval, and Joshua Van fight, that was an excellent fight of the year nominee. And then the last two you missed, great fights. And like I said, when we talk about Alexander Pantoja, who defended his title against Kai Kara France, it wasn't competitive at all.
Yeah. Did he?
Like, Pantoja dominated him everywhere.
Did it go the full round?
No. He ended up winning by submission in round 3.
Nice.
Yeah. What submission was? It was the rear naked. Yeah. Like, just got him. But I'm just like, that was one of those fights for Kai Kara France where I'm just like, that's not because you lost yet another title shot. That's one of those fights that's never going to leave your head. That's always going to be in your head. You fought this dude 9 years ago. You lost then, but I think maybe it was somewhat competitive. And so, it's been 9 years, almost a decade. I'm a better fighter. He's him, but I'm him too. Let's get it. And to not even be competitive and it get dominated the way that you got dominated, that's going to do something to you mentally. Even with Pantoja, who I believe, and rightfully so, they've moved him up on the pound for pound list. So he's at number 5 right now. He's going to fight Joshua Van next, who fought Brandon Royval. I think that's going to be another just demolition derby. And then I guess he moves up, but the way he's beating the flyweights, and he's now lapped them.
Oh, damn.
He's lapped his division outside of this Joshua Van dude. I don't know who's going to do anything with this dude. This man's a jiu-jitsu specialist, so you love to see specialists come in, and now he's a full, well-rounded MMA fighter.
Yeah. That's wild. We got so many people that are just elite and at the top of the top that don't have any competition. It's kind of crazy.
Because it's like, here's the level, and then it's like this. It's almost like when you're watching it, you're seeing the difference between like a high school athlete and an Olympian.
Oh, geez.
Right? It's like, it's not even high school, college. It's literally like high school Olympian.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because they're also high, but they're high level. And for somebody to make them look like they're looking like a right?
Yeah.
And even Marab doing the stuff that he's been doing to people recently, I think Pantoja is too small to move up. I think his frame is too small. I think he would need like probably a year to actually pack on some thickness, but I don't know if his body frame, if that would actually be detrimental to him. So I feel like Mighty Mouse ran into the exact same problem. He's too small to go up, but he was running his division outside of Henry Cejudo, which I arguably think he actually won that last fight in the UFC against Henry, but whatever. But he was too small to go up to bantamweight.
Yeah, how tall is he?
Pantoja?
Yeah. Is he?
I think he's maybe like 5'4".
Yeah. Dang. Another short king.
Another short king. That is right. Let me see. He's 5'5".
Yeah, that is pretty small.
Yeah. And I think he's like a natural kind of 120. He probably walks around maybe 150, maybe. I don't even think he's that big. So that was a great fight to watch. Yeah, we'll see what happens with him next. And then not next, but the UFC superstar right now, Ilia Topuria. That's a bad man. That's a bad man. My money said him, and my heart was with Oliveira.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
But it was like we all knew there was a high probability that it was going to happen the way it happened. But when it happened the way it happened, we were just like, dang.
Yeah, I didn't watch the fight. I just saw the highlight. So before the knockout, they exchanged a little bit, right? Like, did Charles look all right then?
He did. Like, Charles didn't look bad, and I don't understand why, like, some people, like Patty being like, oh, he fought a terrible fight. I don't think he maybe fought the smartest fight, but it's also like, that's how Charles fights. Charles has never been the one to back up. And so you can say that's been his, that you live by the sword, die by the sword kind of situation. And with a fighter like Topuria, you can't press him and things like that. And everybody probably knew like Topuria was probably going to get the better of the exchanges, but I felt like he came out all right. He actually connected with a nice elbow. And I felt like he also connected maybe with a nice like left or right to Topuria. And then at that point, Topuria was just like, I mean, when he hits you, it's just heat.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like his power to weight ratio is probably insane.
It is. Well, that and his combinations. Though his combinations are vicious because you're not just going to get one knockout blow. Like another two are coming. And that's what happened. That's what put Charles night. Now, I don't know. I don't know if Herb was not reffing this one, but this is one where I was like, well, this isn't on Topuria. I don't think he hit Charles any unnecessary times. It was kind of like the sequence and the way that it went. It was just so automatic that like in the combination, he slept him with the right and Charles was still on his feet. But because the left was already naturally coming, he hit him with the left too. And then Charles was like literally on his way down. And so you think, I got to finish him right with the TKO. So Topuria was already on the way down to hit him two more times. And that's what it was. But he was slept on the first one.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, dang. Yeah, my dad had a good theory about this. And I was like, you're probably right. So when I go back to like when you asked, did Oliveira fight a smart fight? And I said, well, I don't think he fought like Charles would fight. But my dad also said he believes it's not that Charles went in there to like get knocked out, but he also didn't necessarily train not to not get knocked out. Like he kind of like when maybe you're about to lose.
That picture of him laying on the floor in the locker room.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's like when you going into something and you're going to lose. So it's like I might as well maybe go for broke, but there's a pretty good chance I'm going to get knocked out. Like you just if you say I'm going to go in for broke, knowing I'm probably going to get knocked out, that means you just want to get it over with. Like I don't want to keep worrying about this until the last 10 seconds of the fifth round, thinking you're going to knock me out cold. Like, let's just get it over with.
Yeah. Was the weight cut hard for Charles?
it's always kind of, he makes it look like it's always difficult, but the only time he missed weight, which I feel like it was a questionable weight scale issue, was when he got stripped of his title, which I don't think he should have been stripped. I think that was a scale issue. But outside of that, I don't think he's actually missed weight.
What did they fight at? What was that?
155.
Okay. He's just so tall and long.
Yeah. It's crazy he fought at featherweight before that.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. So double champ. I don't not like. At first I was starting not to. I really didn't like Topuria, but we'll talk about that for our topic of the week and Zen talk, cockiness, confidence. But I feel like dude's humble. He just has a high belief of himself, which is like, why wouldn't you? Like you said, this is fighting. You better believe that you're the best, or that little doubt, or at least you better believe in I'm at the best that I can be at, and that's what we're gonna work at. Not that you're unbeatable necessarily.
Yeah, and that can work for you, or it could work against you.
Exactly. They brought Patty in the Octagon, which was funny. Like I highlight this, which was kind of funny to me because as it's happening, I'm like, one, Arman, regardless how you felt about him missing weight or his back issue when he was supposed to fight Islam, he's next in line. Like he's the next in line. Patty does not deserve a title shot. He needs one more contendership. And then you still have Justin Gaethje out there who I'm like, do you really need a third title shot? But I guess, if you're in contention. But Joe Rogan, like as their Topuria, like, and I was like, I don't like when they bring in people in the ring. It kind of made sense with Octagon when they did it with Topuria and Van. Like, so they brought Van in to do the face off. Why would you stomp on this man's moment winning a second championship by bringing in somebody else, and not only bringing in somebody else to not even announce a fight, but to basically promote something that wasn't even in the air, but also a person that there is actual beef between them, and it's not like fighting beef, it's like cultural issues that they've had, which kind of sparked that. Like, why would you bring and stomp on that man's moment like that?
Yeah. What kind of beef do they have?
Well, I mean, they were in the same division there for a while, right? The featherweight division. But then I don't remember the specifics, but like Patty had said something about immigration or something, right, in this country, and about like Georgians or something. And like, that was, that's where originally, like where Topuria is from. He is Georgian. He felt some type of way. So they had this like Twitter exchange, and they actually had like for real beef. And I think they like, maybe there was about to be an altercation and there wasn't. So I think that's where it stemmed from, but maybe it goes back further. That's just what I know. So Rogan did the same thing that he did to co-main. He's like, is Patty out there? Is Patty out in the crowd? Bring him into the Octagon. And so then he brings him in. That is what it is. And then you got Dana White in the post conference. He's like, yeah, I don't know. He was obviously annoyed. He's like, I don't know who approved that or why Patty was in the Octagon. And I'm just like, well, as I'm watching this live, I'm like, your man's Joe Rogan brought this dude in. And then I see 4 hours ago before we got on the article, they're like, Joe Rogan takes the blame for letting Pat. I was like, duh. We were watching it live. What do you mean? Like, the security may have just given him clearance, but Joe Rogan literally was on the mic being like, is Patty in the crowd? Bring him in.
Yeah, that's not good. Or that's just not professional.
At all. Not at all. Especially, like I said, like, you ruining that man's moment. Like, y'all didn't do that with Conor McGregor, right? When he won his double champ, you didn't bring somebody else in. You didn't bring Nate Diaz in or somebody else stomping on his moment on that. And that's why people have this gripe about UFC, or, had become more of like an entertainment based versus like the actual sport.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's always kind of been a mix of both.
Yeah, and you kind of have to have a little bit of that, right? You got to promote, buy-in, but we got a little too gimmicky.
Yeah, that's crazy, because when who just fought? Not Amanda, Kayla. When Kayla just fought, they weren't going to let Amanda get in the cage. Like, they hesitated.
Right, yeah. And Kayla was like, no, like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, Topuria, I don't think he was like, yeah, bring Patty in. It was like, oh, okay, I guess he's coming in. This is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I guess we'll see what that looks like. I'm here for Topuria fight. I mean, he's not going to move up anytime soon, but I think it will be interesting if Islam, because Islam's moved up, if Islam beats Jack for the welterweight title, and then Topuria maybe fights one more time or defends his belt. I mean, that'd be a solid super fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matchmaker Deja.
So maybe we.
I said matchmaker Deja.
Hey, sign me up. I got y'all. Okay. Topuria's got it. I think, like I said, Arman, he's the next, I believe. And if Topuria gets past him, I think the other best grappler in the division, I mean, I don't see an issue with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And let's see Patty get rocked and knocked to the shadow realm by Justin Gaethje. But I do think Patty beats the brakes off of Justin Gaethje, and it pains me to say that.
Mm-hmm.
It really pains me to say that. But stuff doesn't make sense when it's supposed to make sense, and we didn't think Patty was going to beat the brakes off of Michael Chandler like he did. We thought he would win, but we didn't think he was literally going to like almost disfigure this man.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh yeah, he's probably going to beat Justin Gaethje bad.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Patty's got something figured out. Just go crazy, eat all you can on your off time.
Yeah. I mean, he did look big when he got into the Octagon. So, we see.
Yeah, we'll see.
But those were some good fights this past weekend. Ooh, real quick. Get 50s in. Okay, because I saw this on Chewy last week, and I wanted to ask you. So we're talking about spectator sport. And we're going back to jiu-jitsu, just in general, right? We just went through UFC, MMA. Okay, cool. That's entertaining. Just bleed kind of crowd. We've talked about before, like, our preference. Do you like to do takedown? Do you like to go for the takedown, or do you like to guard pull?
I'll go for the takedown. I don't really pull guard.
All right. Yeah. What do you enjoy watching more?
I mean, I do enjoy when somebody pulls. You know, because I like to watch passing. And yeah. I like takedowns, but if you're going to stand and attempt a takedown for 5 minutes, I don't think that's entertaining.
Yo, that part. That's what I read that Chewy article, which was funny to me because it was like, I think what he was saying, like he was like, people like hate guard pullers, or like guard pullers are weak and all this, and it's like, what's weak is watching two full-grown men club at each other for 5 minutes, and then somebody gets the victory. Like, what? You didn't even do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Yeah, I do not like watching that.
Like, what are we doing, y'all? Like, I get the, I just don't get it. It's just funny to me when people get annoyed with, like, guard pullers in jiu-jitsu. It's not wrestling.
Yeah.
And even in wrestling, there's still a point to getting the takedown so you can get the pin.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like watching butt scooting. Like, if somebody's just going to sit...
I don't watch that either.
Yeah, but if you're exchanging and somebody sits to guard, I think that's entertaining. I'd rather see that than you just stand and, yeah, like, club at each other. Or just circle the whole... Yeah.
I'm like, come on, y'all. Like, I might as well just watch, a white belt match at that point.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
At least they're going to probably be a little more entertaining because they're going to be more reckless about it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. Just wanted to ask that because I saw it. And I just triggered somebody listening. What are you talking about? Bring it to me. Say something to me. I'll say something back. Okay, real quick too. I don't know if you saw this Yahoo Sports, because we kind of talked about this a little earlier, like the narrative. UFC So Yahoo Sports had brought out, they had asked, like, UFC is booming, but is MMA collapsing?
Yeah.
What would be your first thought on that one?
I don't know. I haven't heard that before, or I haven't really thought about that before either. But
Well,
I don't think it's collapsing.
I wouldn't say so either. But here's what they say about it. At yahoosports.com, they say UFC is booming, but is MMA collapsing around it? The data is concerning. So for decades, the theory of peak oil-shaped global thinking, at some point, oil production hits a ceiling, after which enters irreversible decline. The oil doesn't disappear, but it becomes harder, more expensive, and less profitable to extract. Expansion halts, efficiency tightens, growth ends. Now, it's time to ask a similar question about another global commodity, professional MMA. After 2 decades of booming growth, it appears we may have reached peak MMA. Not in the sense that fights are over, but that the era of explosive, frontier-like expansion is behind us. MMA isn't dying, but the growth curve is. The global number of professional MMA fights is decreasing. Let's see. Thanks to their data, so Tapology data, we can see that the number of professional MMA bouts peaked in 2017 at 20,692. That number decreased only slightly over the next 2 years before it fell off a cliff in 2020, thanks to the COVID pandemic and the economic closures that went with it. It quickly started to rebound, though, in 2021 after the world's economies began to reopen. MMA bouts petered out in 2023 at 18,096. Numbers matches have since decreased, falling to 16,808 in 2024, and currently this year could end up at 13,636 total bouts. So that is pretty wild, actually.
Yeah.
It looks like by 2024, the number had dropped to just over 3,027, so a 52% decrease.
Dang. Yeah, I don't know, because locally we still have plenty of fight cards that go on, but that could just be the Kansas City area too. You know, like they could be short in other cities, or it might not be as popular in other cities. And we are seeing a shortage of MMA fighters, like elite MMA fighters.
That's kind of what it's saying in here too. Is that there's also been a decrease in like country superstars and things like that. It also says, so in this headliner here, or headliner of UFC is booming, but the sport isn't. So the UFC has never been richer. Since its blockbuster ESPN deal in 2019, it has surfed wave after wave of success. Broadcast visibility exploded, pay-per-views surged, although have since cooled domestically. Global reach expanded. The UFC has never had more fans nor attracted more viewers around the world. Never has it had as much money as it does now, and it has never been as profitable as it is now. To the casual observer, the sport looks healthy. But monopolies can grow even as the markets they dominate shrink. The UFC argues that its increasing output proves that sport is thriving, but plaintiffs in an ongoing antitrust lawsuit argue the opposite. The Zuffa suppressed industry-wide output by acquiring rivals, locking down fighters with restrictive contracts, and hoarding talent not to use them, but to prevent others from doing so. As former CEO Lorenzo Ferretta bluntly wrote in a 2014 text to Dana White, the UFC needed to, quote, keep taking these effers oxygen till they tap out, end quote. The effers were rival promoters. The oxygen was access to top level fighters. So if you look at Bellator, once considered the strongest domestic alternative, was acquired by the PFL in 2023 after years of stagnation. But instead of rising, the merged company is releasing its top fighters. and is struggling to gain traction with live gates, ESPN viewership, and media relevance. Then you have One Championship, once touted as Asia's answer to the UFC, is reportedly scaling back its MMA efforts entirely, pivoting towards regional Muay Thai events in Thailand as financial pressures mount. Invicta FC, the all women's promotion that once fed talent into the UFC, now operates on a shrunken event scheduled with a diminished media profile and unclear long-term stability.
Dang.
These monopolies, UFC monopolizing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that sucks. Do you think jiu-jitsu is growing? Because it's kind of hard to tell because we're always around. Like, that's all we see.
Here's what I would say. And again, we've talked about this. And I will say this shamelessly. I am a traditionalist. If I think that once you start coming in and start trying to, and it's fine to branch off, right? It's like you can't just have one set of music. We have all subtypes and it's all needed and that's fine. But once you start trying to water down the roots of where you came from, eventually shit's going to die off and it's not necessarily going to grow as such. And what I mean by that, in my personal opinion, is that I do think that grappling, in a sense, is growing here in America. Because it was already, I mean, yeah, you can say it's growing around the world, but like it's obviously it's not uncommon for you grew up with jiu-jitsu in Brazil. Mm-hmm. So everybody starts off as a white belt, 2-3 years old. And you know what I'm saying? Your average Joe is probably a purple belt who probably doesn't even train, but it's just within the culture. Yeah. We didn't necessarily have that, but like wrestling somewhat was in our culture, right? We have American wrestling. Mm-hmm. And so when we talked about before, we see this huge explosion now, or you did there for a hot minute, maybe not so much anymore, but now, yeah, UFC BJJ, but what are they focusing on? No gi. Mm-hmm. We were talking yesterday. You know, we have what's the new one that they were talking about? It's like grappling with like not slapping, but it was something where I was like trying
combat jiu-jitsu?
Not combat jiu-jitsu. Well, it was something else. But it was like another form of doing something that was no gi, but not the gi.
Was it subspectrum? The catch wrestling subspectrum was submissions?
Yes, that's what it was. Yes. It's just like, okay, wrestling with submissions, all right, or no gi again. So yeah. It's like this grappling aspect. And again, like I get it, no gi debate. This isn't that debate necessarily. While it is, but it isn't. So people aren't even like here in America, we don't even want to use the words jiu-jitsu. So I do think that naturally, as we're like, it probably is going to go on the route of maybe moving more towards like we see a no gi, but we're more so going to try to like Americanize it because we think the rules are stupid and we don't like this, that, the other. We want to make it more aggressive and those kinds of things. I do think eventually you're going to start seeing stuff like a decrease in just, you already see a decrease in techniques, even though you have more athletic people and whatnot. Yeah, you have blue belts that can definitely can beat black belts and whatnot, but can you actually teach it? Mm-hmm. You know, can you actually open up a school? And yeah, you might be like through mentorship and all that, you can develop some great athletes and whatnot, but what's the longevity in the actual art, not the sport, the art? Mm-hmm. So personal opinion, I don't think jiu-jitsu is growing. I think grappling is. I don't know. What would you say?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it is grappling or Americanized grappling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm saying I am hating on it. Let me not say that I'm not hate. I am. I'm hating on it. Because this is just what America does, and it grinds my gears. You can like no gi and you can like submission grappling and all that, but you don't need to come for gi or the tradition of jiu-jitsu necessarily in order to big up that. Mm-hmm. Because you wouldn't have that if you didn't have this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I think it doesn't help either that like the Global Fight League, like stuff like that, like they're
Right.
they try to start something that's supposed to be good for the fighters and help the fighters, and then it can't even get started.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be having stuff like that. That doesn't help either. So I mean, I know what one of the answers is. It's like, hey, UFC, like said Dana White, get your hand out the freaking all the cookie jars and like let some other like promotions and stuff shine out here. But greed is a hell of a drug, and so a lot of people are just reluctant to give that up.
Yeah, I was thinking, if you had $1 billion, would you be more disciplined or less disciplined? Like, would you?
I'd probably be less.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I really do. Like, yeah, there would have to be some sort of like incentive that to kind of, I think, maybe keep me like, you won't keep this billion if you don't do X, Y, and Z. It's like, oh, I could do that, but I just think you just give me $1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd still train though?
Oh yeah, I would still train. I don't know if I'd be as disciplined.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that because Jake Paul, like,
yeah,
just and like Mark Zuckerberg, like these guys got so much money, but yet like Jake Paul still trains and he's like really focused on boxing.
Well, because that's his job now. That's where he's getting his revenue. Like if I said $1 billion, and that's not necessarily how that wasn't contingent. Me training isn't based off of me keeping or making more money, but like his is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but I would hope I'd be disciplined or more disciplined, but I'm just like, I don't know. All right. We're kind of crunched for time today in Light Ones because your girl's gotta head on here in a little bit. But a couple things before we end with our topic and our zen. Ben asked for an update. Infections cleared, and he did undergo successful double lung transplant, which obviously was not the best scenario, but to be alive and be infection free, that's great. Life expectancy, or after that kind of surgery, isn't great, but that's it is what it is. And hopefully he has a speedy recovery. It's kind of sad to see somebody like that who might not ever be able to kind of like, he might still be able to coach, but he probably could never be on the mats or anything again, just because of being immune compromised.
Yeah. Oh, that's just so crazy. Every time I think about it, I can't imagine what that feels like to have a new set of lungs and to go through all
that. So well wishes to him and his family. Some wild news, but yeah, that's at least some good news for him. And then I did come across, I saw, and I'm like, I'm here for this fight. I'd love to see it. Wei Li, double champ, wants to go up, fight Valentina.
Yeah, no, I like that too.
Makes sense.
Yeah, do you know when that could happen?
I'm not sure. I don't know if she has a fight scheduled soon, but I'd probably within next year. I mean, if they both have a fight scheduled, or whatever, let them both win that, and then that would be the next fight to make, because it's just like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think I saw something about Kayla and Amanda fighting in November.
Really? That's soon?
Yeah. I might
see.
Google
I don't know
it.
if Amanda's gonna be in shape for that.
I might Google it just to make sure, but pretty sure that's what I read. All right, this might take some time.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, that should be.
Oh yeah. Madison's no, that's Amanda Serrano. It could have just been a Facebook meme too.
Oh, okay.
I just saw it. Well, I saw that somewhere.
That they always get you, right? Yeah, we'll see. Oh yeah, I'm excited for that fight to be announced.
Yeah. Yeah,
Any
actually, I think November in Madison Square Garden. Kayla and Amanda.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see. November be a big month then.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. Any other news?
I don't think so.
Anything? All right. Whip.
Well.
Topic of the week. Topic of the week in Light Ones. This was inspired of the recent champ, Topuria, double champ now. In terms of this question, right? Like, what are you willing to sacrifice to give yourself the opportunity for success? It doesn't mean that you will be successful or get the win, but to give yourself the opportunity. So, this looks like maybe you're, dropping the ego, like we've talked about before. You're willing to sacrifice your ego, be humble, look at areas and train your areas of growth or your areas of weakness versus just honing in on your strengths, sacrificing your time, sacrificing certain relationships, right? If it's a bad influence. No, what else comes to mind for you when you kind of think about this question?
I think just time. Like it just takes a lot of time. But I read somewhere where he said he was working like 4 jobs at one point.
Who?
Topuria or Topuria.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang.
So I don't know, like sometimes you have to give up a lot of time, you got to put in extra work just to make that journey happen, or to, I don't know, you got to put in a lot of effort. I feel like in every area of your life you have to give up something to be able to grow or to make that growth.
Absolutely. It doesn't happen without that. It's like, it's not this or that kind of situation. You just have to kind of look and assess, analyze whatever you're trying to do and whatever your goals are, and then now work backwards of like, okay, well, what are my hurdles? What are barriers? How do I take accountability? What are the internal stuff, external stuff, things I'm not in control of, things I am control of that contributes to how I'm making progression towards said goal. And is my said goal based off of, I might have this goal of like, I want to win, or here's what my success looks like. While I always tell people, it's like a sundae. You might not get that cherry on top. That's not guaranteed, right? But the actual sundae of it, like we've talked about before, is sacrificing to give yourself the opportunity to even be on that path for success.
Yeah. What are some things that you've given up?
I mean, I would say, definitely time. I mean, that's always a thing, right? The sacrifice. You can never have as much time or what you be where you want to be as much as you want, or be as attentive as you want to be and want. So that's definitely been sacrifices, just with anything, right? Good example, when I was doing my dissertation, I mean, that was a lot of sacrifice, but I just from like January to May, I could have maybe found other times or whatever, but it just wasn't working out that way, where I did have to kind of sacrifice, some of my workout time, gym time, when it came to me being present, right? My relationship, like all of my relationships, right? That's my primary relationship, just because I just couldn't be everywhere or attentive at the same time as I was trying to go through that process. It wasn't going to work out any other way. And like I said, it's not I got this or I'm picking this over that. It's just like, you can't be everywhere at the same time. And so I had to say, I was sitting in a chair for hours. And so, no, I'm not in the gym for an hour, right? Every like a day. Or if I was at the gym, I'm like, well, that was an hour I could have done for writing. So like my fitness was just going to come from going to jiu-jitsu, which is what I needed for my mental and emotional health, and just overall still got to have, self-care stuff. But I did have to sacrifice gym stuff and some of my physical fitness that I'm snapping back into it now. It's just what I had to do, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed like my focus really shifts when I'm really trying to go towards something or try to reach a goal. Like like I gotta shift my focus. Like I can't be paying attention to other things. Like even like the videos I watch, like I've been watching a lot of crime videos, you know, but
Yeah.
lately I've been like I could be using that time to watch jiu-jitsu videos and learn.
Yeah.
So it's just shifting gears like that. And like for competition too, like just trying to get in that mindset of okay, I'm really going to focus now instead of wasting time.
Exactly. Yeah. That it's right. And the biggest thing that you kind of say is like holding yourself accountable and being intentional. Right, with that. It's like, okay, I know, okay, yeah, I could be doing this. I'm not going to shame myself for watching crime videos. And all right, let me replace that and watch some more jujitsu videos and whatnot. I would say something, and not ego for me. I think everybody has an ego, and everybody has to have one, and a healthy amount of one. While, like we've talked about before, you also have to understand not to let your ego get too big or the best of you, and also understanding like that ego, if you need ego death or like being humble and those kinds of things. So I would say ego isn't necessarily an issue. I mean, it was like, oh, I'm the best, and like those kinds of things. Like confidence over there's a difference. Where I struggle with sacrifice, and maybe, and that does have something to do with like ego, but also I don't want to be seen a certain way of like weak, right? And it's not, but I struggle with asking for help. Like I really like that's something I've been trying to get better at. Not putting the weight of the world on your shoulders, not doing, ask if, hey, could you, help me out over here, or even asking a question. I think like that's where I've tried to be a little more intentional over the last like, year, but while also understanding that like that is people really pointing that out, that who I trust this year, saying that's something you really need to work on. And I'm like, absolutely. I don't disagree with that.
Do you think you've been getting better at that?
Yeah, I think so. And it's still uncomfortable. And it's also like, right, it's still, because I haven't, it's also trying to be mindful of like, oh, I do need to ask for help. Cause you're just like in the middle of it, and it's like, I'm so used to just doing it. I won't even like think to ask.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just part of being really independent.
Yeah. Right. It really is. It really is. So yeah, I think that's the like going up and asking somebody, or even just saying like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
You have to admit those things. It's not easy, y'all. It's not easy. Big one, we've talked about this before too in the past, willing to sacrifice certain relationships that you have with people, or certain like bad influences, bad energy. If I'm around you and you're bringing me down, you're not uplifting me, you're not being honest with me about things that one who I would look to and would hope that you would be honest for my overall growth, and and keeping me humble and those kinds of things. If you're not doing that, that's not somebody who I want around me, because they don't want the best for me. And also, me wanting the best for me is also challenging me too.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you reflect the people you surround. So you gotta take care of yourself and pay attention to that.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I gotta stay away from the energy vampires. That's what I've been noticing. Like people that drain me or that bring me down. Like I can't be doing this. Like I got work to do today. You can't have me in my feelings.
That part for real, because you're gonna mess up my whole aura. That part, right? And frequencies matter, y'all. We talk about chakras all the time. This is also your frequencies. Literally what you put out there, you are attracting. And vice versa. If, like, I notice if I'm tense or if I'm rushing stuff, right, I just can't not be clumsy. And you just, shit's falling out of your hands, like shoe comes untied, you just tied it. Like this dumb shit happens because it's like you are on that kind of frequency.
I think it's funny when when you have a day like that, and it really hits you hard. Like I feel like little things keep happening when you do have bad days. Get you to that level, sets you off.
It does. It's like tat, little micro cuts. Hate to see it. So that would be our biggest message to you all enlightened ones. You know, friends, family, confidants, you know, lovers, whoever. What are you willing to sacrifice to give yourself the opportunity? It doesn't even have to be success. It doesn't even have to be a win or whatever. But what are you willing to sacrifice? What do I need to sacrifice? What do I maybe need to explore that I don't even know I need to sacrifice to give myself an opportunity?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you stay ready when those opportunities come, you'll be ready for them.
You don't have to get ready, you know what I'm saying?
Stay on top of your shit.
Exactly. So that's what we have for you all today. Topic of the week. Now it's time to get anchored. Enlightened ones, welcome back. Welcome back to Zen.
Have you been meditating?
I have not.
Dang, me neither.
But I am going to say the thought that I need to get back into that has been more prevalent this week. I'm going to say that. Because I keep getting my reminders. And as I'm getting these reminders this week, I'm not just being like, okay, yeah, I see it now. I'm just like, dang, no, I need to actually like find time and sit to do it. So we're at least in the right direction.
Nice. Yeah, same. I'm not really a meditator, but I like to visualize, and I haven't been doing that. But recently, I've been putting myself in that state to try to get ready for Vegas because I haven't competed in a while, and I'm like, oh, I can't get nervous for this. I gotta be chill.
Hey, even if you just gotta work the nerves, right? I know I'm actively working on that too. I mean, I always get nervous as stuff coming up, but visualizing, meditating. We're going to keep each other accountable on that.
All right.
So I'm going to ask you every time you meditate today, you going to get that in today?
Okay.
Did you get that in this week? I'm going to ask.
All right. I'll ask you too.
Because me asking you is going to be like, damn, have I done that?
Yeah. Keep each other accountable. We can do that.
So Zen talk today, you all talked about, okay, sacrifice and what does this look like? So confidence, so you need to be able to find your confidence versus finding your cockiness. We don't want to be cocky, we want to be confident. And this is kind of inspired again by the new double champ Ilia Topuria and people being off put by his level of confidence. However, one of the best things that I've heard him say this week, and I really appreciated what he had to say post-fight in his podcast interview. One of the things he said is, I'm so confident in me he celebrated his win the night before.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay, let's go. He celebrated his win the night before, and his philosophy is, I know I can be beat. He's like, because I know I can be beat, that's what gets me to train as hard as I am or as hard as I do. So to me, the hard work has already been put in. I've done my training camp, right? Weight's good and whatnot. So I'm going to celebrate because the victories has already been won because I've fully prepared myself in addressing the areas where I feel like I need to address the areas. So when we go back to the topic of the week question, right? What are you willing to sacrifice? Number one right there for him was ego. Ego to even admit, yes, I am beatable. That's what makes me train as hard as I am because I know I am.
Yeah, I like that. Having so much confidence, you can just celebrate the night before because you know you're prepared. You put the work in. That's awesome.
You put the work in. The cherry on top is the win. But that Sunday was the 3 months or his entire camp that he's showed up every day and did everything that he needed to do to prepare himself again, to give himself the opportunity to have success.
Yeah, I like that. And I get that visual now. Ice cream cone and then the cherry on top.
You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, that just clicked for me.
All right, that's okay. Sometimes it's just a little slow burn. Yeah. So the more Topuria talks, the more I like him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he seems like a humble guy.
I'm here for that attitude. He is. Like you said, if he had 4 jobs, again, he was willing to like doing all of that. You can't. I don't think you can have the kind of lifestyle that he had, been, growing up the way that he grew up, and you can't not have a sense of some kind of humility.
Mm-hmm.
Even when he was, he was like, I'm sorry for Charles, it's got to be you. But even with that wasn't a cocky thing, and he wasn't being a dick. Mm-hmm. Because he was also being super respectful. It's like, we both have daughters, right? We both have children. He's trying to perform the best and provide the better opportunity for his family. And I'm trying to do the same. This is a sport. And I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And he's going to try to do what he's going to do. And afterwards, we're going to shake hands and keep it 100 and keep moving. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say that's just being professional.
Right. I mean, he is knocking out our faves, which is heart-wrenching, but it is what it is, okay? It is what it is. So, find your confidence, not your cockiness.
Yeah, I think we're lucky we don't have too many cocky people at our gym. Or I don't even think we got, I don't know if we got anybody who's like super cocky at our gym. I think we're pretty humble and confident.
I don't think so.
Or maybe everybody's not confident, but at least everyone's pretty humble.
I'd say for the most part, we're a very humble gym, is what I would say. I don't see anybody walking out with a big old chest out here. Nobody, like, cockiness is like, I'm better than you. Mm-hmm. We don't have any of that attitude in our space. I haven't seen it that like anybody thinks that they're better. We have levels or whatever, but it doesn't. The attitude of literally, I'm not a better human than you or whatever. It's not that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Matt and Heidi.
Hey, Ground Theory. That's right. Matt and Heidi giving us solid roots. Be humble. Check your ego. Find your confidence. We'd love to see it.
That Sunday. Build your Sunday. Put the sprinkles on top.
Build your Sunday. Oh, love the sprinkles. We love a good sprinkle. Well, anything else for Zen Talk before we get to our quote?
No. Just need to work on our Zen. We'll do that for next week.
Meditate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we will. We'll check in. I'm going to get in my headspace. I'm going to get to rocking.
All right.
All right. Enlightened ones, here's our quote for the week. Again, be safe out here this weekend. You got 10 fingers today. You're going to have 10 after this weekend. Hell, if you only got 9 fingers, hopefully you still got 9, right? By Monday. Have fun with your families, friends, yourself. Hug your fur babies. F all y'all who want to light fireworks outside of regulation time. And after the 4th, I stand on business with that one. And I also wish you well. Okay? So. Here is our quote for the week, enlightened ones. Confidence is when you believe in yourself and your abilities. Arrogance is when you think you are better than others and act accordingly. You could say that arrogance is false confidence and that the person displaying it is overcompensating for their inner inadequacies. Stuart Stafford.
All right.
Yeah.
2 times.
Yeah. I know that's right. 2 times, a little bit of a longer one, but I'm going to get you a second one so it actually settles in. Again, confidence is when you believe in yourself and your abilities. Arrogance is when you think you are better than others and act accordingly. You could say that arrogance is false confidence and that the person displaying it is overcompensating for their inner inadequacies. Stuart Stafford.
Nice.
Yeah. So figure out ways to secure internally, secure self, So you're not out here operating on just as an insecure individual, bringing out that ego, not asking for help, being a cocky little a-hole, and just a shit human. That's what I got.
Yeah. Thanks, Deja.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem. Well, anything else? Any other parting messages for our enlightened ones before we get out of here for the week?
I don't think so. Just happy 4th. That's it.
All right. Happy 4th. Yes. Enlightened ones, like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Listen to us on the road if you're traveling and whatnot. Enjoy and be confident, be humble, and be out here in these streets. Again, this is Deja.
This is Michaela.
We'll talk to y'all next time.
Nice.